All right. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. It is Thursday. Workout with Megan. I'm with Ocean Rehab and Fitness and the Disability Foundation. ConnectTogether specifically puts this on every week for those of you that are coming in or joining or even just looking on Facebook. So every Thursday we meet and we do something a little bit different. Natalia, thanks for coming today. Good to see you here. So what we're going to do today is work on a little bit of breathing work, getting into our deep core. We're going to talk about that and a really nice big warm up, some release work, and then we're going to get into some cardio. So we're going to try and get your heart rate up today a little bit. Don't worry, it's still considered strength training, but we are going to try and get moving and get some circuits going for you so that we can get moving there. All right, so what we need today is a band, and this is mostly just for some activation exercises in the beginning. So I would recommend something a little lighter. If you don't have a band, you can also use like stretchy pants. It could be any band too. It doesn't need to be just exactly what I have. It can be a band with handles, one of these TheraBands, a scrunchy band, whatever it is that you have. You can also use no band. So all the exercises I showed today can also be done without resistance, if that's not an option for you. And then we're going to use some type of a ball. This is just my massage ball, but it could be anything. Some of us have bender balls. Some of us have even an orange or a grapefruit. A water bottle works well. Just something that you can hold nicely in your hand that isn't going to slip out. Okay? Preferably not too heavy. If you're going to use a dumbbell or something like that, typically nothing over, probably nothing over 5 pounds for the people joining in today, and even lighter than that is fine. Okay, and then we are going to be doing exercises with our trusty dowel, which most of you that come to my class know that I always have this. So this is going to be anything that's longer than your shoulders. So wider than the shoulders, nice grip, something you can grip nicely with. And a broomstick works, dead hockey stick. Some people use an umbrella, whatever it is that you have, okay? So gather those things, put them just next to you. We're not gonna use them quite yet. Make sure that you have water handy and open a window if you're sensitive to the heat, because we're gonna get nice and warm here in a second. So we're gonna start. Also, a reminder to everybody, if you have any questions or comments, I do have the chat box open so I can see what people are asking. You can make a comment or ask me privately, or you can just ask in general and everybody will be able to see it, and I'll answer you as soon as I'm done the movement in that moment. Okay, so let's get started with some breath work. So we're going to get nice and tall, whether we're sitting or standing. I want you to think of your spine getting really long. I want you to pull up out of the crown of your head. Okay, peach under the chin. So we're going to have our chin slightly tucked. And I want everybody to just place a hand on their chest and a hand on their low belly. Okay. The goal here is to do deep belly breathing. So to start, I want you to feel the contrast of that. So a lot of times when we're feeling anxious or we're excited about something, or we're not feeling in our bodies and we're all up in our head, we tend to do a lot of chest breathing. And what that'll look like is a lot of that chest rising and falling. Okay. What we want to do is get rid of that. We want to try and get deep into our, what we call diaphragmatic breathing. So your diaphragm, which is going to be below the lungs, right? We want to get down in there. Just expand this so we can see. Perfect. So now what I want you to do is think of expanding, just like a baby does. They belly breathe. They don't even think about it. We want to think of expanding in the belly as you breathe, as opposed to keeping it all in the lungs. Okay. So we're going to do a cycle of 10. If you need to close your eyes for this, you can just listen to my voice. Sometimes that gets us into our body a little bit more. Otherwise you can follow along. So as I do a deep breath, you're not going to see my chest rise, and then exhale, and then you're going to sink. Okay. Inhale through the nose, belly breath, and then we exhale. Okay. And again, inhale through the nose and exhale. And inhale through the nose. And exhale. Thanks, Janice. And inhale through the nose. And exhale. Good, everybody. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. We should start to feel a bit of warmth in the low belly by now. Inhale. And exhale. And if you don't, just notice it. Try and notice what you do feel. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, 3 more as a group. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Awesome. Okay, so everybody should feel a little bit more in their body. They might feel a little just more in the present moment. That's kind of what we're going for. So now we're going to get right into those pec muscles. I know Florence is really, really tight and sore today. She did some dancing. So we're going to make sure that we do a nice, really good, nice warm up and get into some of these muscles that, that might tighten up. Okay, so nice big circles getting right into the pec. Reminder, if you're female or you have breast tissue, we want to get in and behind. The muscle lays behind that. So we need to get a little deeper than you think. I just kind of hook my fingers kind of in behind there and you'll feel it. We tend to be quite tight here. Make sure that that arm on that side is relaxed so that this hand, it's just hanging down, okay? From there, you can start working your way up into the anterior shoulder, okay? Finding any spots here. If we have any like tight shoulders, if you do a lot of manual wheeling, you're gonna get some tightness in here. So make sure you're getting in here. Sometimes it'll, even these tendons here, will feel like a guitar string and you can get right in it. Today we can even go into the bicep because there's a lot of us in here do use chairs. So just get right into the bicep there. Okay. And then after this, we're going to run right up into the traps, which is where most of us hold a lot of tension. And I'm going to do like a pinching variation. So I'm just grabbing that muscle, and this can get pretty intense. So if you're good with just the back and forth, that's fine. But if you want to get a little deeper, you can just grab that muscle and peel it up away from your neck. Yeah. Okay, kind of just working where you need it the most. Okay. A few more seconds on this side and then we're going to switch. And excellent, good, shake that out. Okay, coming back, other side, starting right where we started before. And we're gonna get right into the pecs on the other side. Okay. Getting really deep in there if you can. Okay, getting behind the breast tissue and then working your way up into the anterior shoulder, if that feels good. Okay. If you have a lot of layers on, you might want to go under the layers and get right in at your skin. Okay, you'll get a little bit better feedback from the sensation on your hand to your skin than if you have a bunch of clothing layers on. Okay, and then into the anterior of the shoulder down into bicep. For those of you that want it, feeling a little tight in here, this is a really good place. Or if you're a manual wheelchair user and you do a lot of wheeling, this would be good. Even forearm crutch users, this is good. Even if we're using a walker a lot to get up and down, also a good option. Okay, and then we get right up into that trap. So remember, we have a few options. We can do that seesaw forward and back. You can do the pinching, whatever it is you need today. There's no wrong way. I'm just giving options so everybody can kind of work to where they need to work today. Okay, and that's what Thursdays are about. It's kind of taking what works for you and just ignoring what doesn't. Okay, good. and getting in there. Awesome. Good. Okay, we're going to get right into it today. So we're going to start with some neck rolls. So we're going to think of leading with the nose, and we're going to make a half circle and over. Good. And half circle over. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. And now we're going to look side and side and side, a little quicker today. Side, 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 and 2, and 1. Now we're going to go up and center, and then down. This one we're passing through center. Up and center, and down and center, and up. Center. Make sure you're taking your eye gaze with the look. So our head is going up, but we're also looking up. Okay. We want to get that eye reflex going. Okay. Really important. And up. Good. And now we're going to tip. So chin back, and we're going to tip an ear down to the shoulder, and up, and shoulder, and up, and shoulder, sitting as tall as you can, and shoulder, and up, shoulder, and up. Let's do one more each side after this, and shoulder, and up, and shoulder. Good. And now we're going to do a big arm reach out, stretch, fingers are nice and wide, and then we're going to hug. Bear hugs, opposite, and switch. Good. Over. If you are an Ocean Insider Club member, just a reminder, all of these exercises are found on there. And new addition, we're actually going to be adding some new exercises to target lower body, because we've had so many requests to get lower body exercises. So you'll see some of those in here today that we do, and we're going to add those to the site as well. So just a heads up. And cross. Good. And again, over. And now we're going to rotate. So keep hugging yourself. Twist. And I want it to be through the belly button, so our hips aren't moving. And twist. So you should feel your feet in the floor. We're rotating through that belly button, trying to move the spine, not the hips. Okay. And if you need something in between your knees to help you with this, you can always hold like a bender ball or something like that. Roll up a towel and hold it between your knees so that we can stop that movement. Okay, 2 more here. Breathing, breathing. Good. And now we're going to reach up and pull that imaginary thing down from the ceiling. Up. That thing could be like a rope, a balloon, something. Just get that pulling action. And up. If you have neck stuff going on, don't worry about looking at your hand like I'm doing. You can just keep looking at the monitor if your neck doesn't like this. Okay? Up and up. Good. Let's do 2 more as a group, and then we're going to get a little bigger with our movement. Up and open. Awesome. I'm going to turn so we can see. So now we're going to go sideways. We're going to kick one leg out straight. So I have one leg somewhat straight. 2 options. If you need some trunk support, we don't have full trunk function, you're going to walk yourself down with a nice long spine. So you can see how my spine is super long, right? We're not rounding like this. So nice long spine, and then you're going to walk yourself back up. Okay. This is version 1. Okay. I'm going to show this one for a couple, and then I'll show you version 2. And we're trying to reach for those toes, getting a nice big stretch through the back side of the body and elongating in the crown of the head. This is my 5. So option 2, you're going to put your hands up above your head. This is if you have a lot of core. You're going to think of reaching out and away, keeping that spine long, and then reach out and away. And this leg is still straight. My last 5, I'm going to demonstrate here. 2, breathing, reaching out. It's a hinge. So we're hinging from the waist. 3, And this is 4. And again, reaching 5. And awesome, good. Okay, I'm gonna switch. I'll keep facing this way because it doesn't matter too much. Take your leg, kick it out. This could be out in front of your foot plate on your chair, or it could just be on the floor. Okay, version 1, I'll start with again. You're gonna walk yourself down without rounding in the spine. Come back up. Walking it down without rounding in the spine. Come back up, good. And again. Okay, work to your ability. So pick whichever variation works for you, and that's what you're going to stick with. Breathing. And 2, good. This is my 8 total. Okay, 1 more. And good, awesome. And now we're going to do nice big side reaches. So we're going to reach up and over, big side reach, curving over the head, and reach for the other side, switch. I told you we want to get nice and big as we keep moving. Notice how I'm leaning on my opposite arm. So here I can place this elbow down and reach. So I'm supporting my body to get a side body stretch. We don't have to actually hold that on our own. Okay, good. Reach. Just trying to get as big as you can in space. Use your body. That's it. Feels so nice to move, especially if you've been sitting at a computer all day, like some of us have. Good. Okay, awesome. And now we're going to take our arms up. You're going to make a W shape. So nice and big, W, and then up. W, I'm thinking of squishing those armpits together. Squeeze, fingernails facing back, palms facing the monitor. Okay, reach, think of squeezing the shoulder blades. That's it. W's, squeeze, and again, squeeze, last one, and squeeze. Excellent. Now we're going to reach up to the corner, both hands, and I want you to go and tap down to the opposite side. And then you're going to start up. So we're making bigger shapes as we go along, trying to get really warm for our cardio circuits. Reach. Up, breathing, reach. Good. Up, breathing, reach. Up, breathing, reach. Nice. And again, over. If you're not at my tempo, that's okay. Do what you can. And reach. And down. Can we do 2 more, everybody? Last one. Up and down. Beautiful. Okay, last thing before we get into some of our circuits. So we're going to take our hands and we're going to flick water off of our hands. So we're going to flick, and then I want you to squish like you're going to squeeze sand in your hands. Flick, and then squeeze the sand. You know where the sand gets pulled out of your hands because you squish it so much? That's what I want. Flick, and then squeeze. So intense, and then light. Intense, and then light. If you need stability, feel free to do one hand on the other, and you can hold yourself down here if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to do both hands. And you can just alternate if you're using one hand at a time. Let's do 4 more. And squeeze, little hand therapy. Some of us need it. And again, flick. And again, flick. Last one, and flick. And excellent. Good. Okay, grab your band. We're going to do a band circuit. So first thing we're going to do is external shoulder rotation, but one arm at a time. So we have our hand. If you have grip stuff going on, or you feel like you're not strong enough to hold a band, you can loop it around your wrist, or you can hold it like this, or you can do it like this, okay? So we're gonna have one hand supporting, and I'll show both ways, the other hand here, and then we're gonna have our elbows in, and we're gonna be working one side at a time. So I'm gonna be showing my my left side, which will be your right. And I'm going to think of oops, that's a little tight for me. I'm going to think of externally rotating the band out as I stabilize with this hand. So this hand isn't moving, and I'm moving that band outwards. Okay. You can also park yourself up next to a door handle, and you can make like, this could be the door handle, and then you can do it against that. Okay. But just for accessibility today, we're going to be our own door handle, and you're going to pull against it. Okay. Try and get 10 out. I know I've already started, but some of us probably have to take time to set up. So I'll do about 4 more. Breathing, getting tall. This is a good time to think about that. Breath. And 4. Good. I'll let you finish those up while I switch sides. So the goal, we want to think of keeping that elbow in. We don't want to let that elbow drift away from the body. Okay. We're focusing on that back body working. So you should feel a lot going on in that back of the shoulder, and maybe even a little bit up in here. Okay, here we go. So wrapping around, other side. 3, getting tall, belly button drawing in. 2 and 1. Open. And this is exactly why I said to get a light band. You won't need a whole lot of resistance with this one. And as you can see, you can still do this without a band. Same movement. You would just focus on the range. Good. Getting as tall as you can. If we're slouched, we're not going to be able to access those same muscles. And I'll do 2 more to catch everybody up. And done. Awesome. Okay, next one, we're going to be tying the band around our thighs. So let's move this down real quick. I don't like to tie a knot because it takes too long. So I just hold, and I hold with a hand. And then I put my other hand on my waist or my hips so that I can avoid this, like, I don't know what this is called, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to pop the ribs. So we want to keep this nice and long. If a band doesn't work for you, if you have a lot of tone in here, what we're going to be doing, is an abduction. So if you have a lot of tone in your legs and it's even hard for you to open your legs, try putting something in here like a towel or a bender ball. And your goal would be to try and let it drop, and then you can pick it up and put it back in. Okay. If you're in between the two, like you have enough tone to move your legs, but the band is too much, don't use anything. And you're just going to focus on that opening. Okay. So I'm going to go for 20. We'll do 10 to 20, depending on where you're at. Okay, here we go. I feel like I've already been talking a lot. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hand on the hip and open. Okay, I think there's a really good tip with this one. I always talk about driving your feet into the floor. This is the one where we're not going to do that. So we want to have the feet light. If you were dangling your feet off, you were sitting on like a really high chair, you should be able to do this movement without your feet touching anything. So that's the feeling I want you to go for. We're only working abduction. So just getting those knees to widen. And what we're really working are these tiny little muscles here. These are part of our external rotators, our hip stabilizers. These help us a lot in walking, right? Getting up from a chair. We want to make sure that these are nice and strong. Okay, even if you don't walk and you're sitting in a wheelchair, these are still really important to access, because anything that we can activate is going to help us with posture and core, right? Okay, last 3 here for me. Do what you can. And that was my 20. Good. Taking that off. And we're going to do all this again, one more time. So we're starting with the single arm external shoulder rotation. So I'm going to start on this side this time. Give you a second to set up. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Elbows glued at the ribs. Stabilizing arm. 10 to 12 would be good. Remember, if you don't have a band, you can just do this without. Still beneficial. 2 more for me. Good, and now we switch, excellent. Okay, here we go. Okay, give you a second to set up. 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Sitting tall, don't forget about your core. Nice deep belly breath, just like we did at the beginning today. And 12 and done. Good. All right. Here we go. Going back into our abductors. Band if you need it. No band if you don't. Ball here if you have some spasticity going on in your inner thighs. Here we go. Sitting up tall, other hand on your waist. Keeping the abs drawn in nice and tall, no rib popping. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Open, light on those feet. Okay, like I said, I'm going to do 20. Okay, we're halfway. Keep that breath going. Deep belly breathing. And that was my 20. Awesome. Okay, get a sip of water. We're done with that circuit, and we're going to move on to some timed intervals. So I think we're done with the band for now, but have your ball and your dowel handy. Okay. So I'm just going to set up a timer here. So we're going to actually start with the ball. We're going to start with weight. So your ball might not weigh anything, but in case people are using a weighted ball, we're going to start with that today. Okay, here we go. So first thing, wood chop. So we're going to be chopping from the high corner here. So I'm aiming for above my ear. So it's almost like I'm going to listen to something in the object I'm holding. Okay, and we're stopping it. So it's like, boom, you're hitting a wall. And then you're going to chop down to the opposite hip. This could be the rim of your chair right here. You could aim for the rim of your chair. And then we do it again. Chop. Okay, the goal with this, as you can see how my thighs aren't moving? So I'm not doing like this wiggle. See how I'm wiggling in here? No wiggle parties. So nice and tall. We're staying stable in the lower body. That's where my stability is coming in, okay? So only, well, you're not really even rotating much. Your ribs might move a little bit, but from the belly button down, not a lot of movement. We're going to do 30 seconds on one side. I'll give you a couple of seconds to switch, and then we're going to do 30 seconds on the other side. Okay, then after that, I'm going to show you the next move, and then we're going to do another timed interval. Okay, here we go. 30 seconds, 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Speed is up to you. I'd rather you be nice and controlled than just throwing your movement away. So speed will come with control. 30 seconds here, or as long as you can. Okay, last 10. 3, 2, 1. Other side, and yeah, no break. It was just a transition. Almost there. 5 seconds. And time. Awesome. Okay. We're going to do another 30 seconds, but this time we're going to be doing something called a paint shaker. So you're still going to hold the ball or whatever it is that you're holding, and we're going to be pretending like it's filled with paint. So we're going to sit nice and tall, draw the abs in, same thing, hips don't move. And I want you to shake it as hard as you can right out in front of you, okay? If I'm facing sideways, what I don't want to see is this, where we fall forward. So if you are working with some core instability or just haven't been working out lately, the further away you take your object, the harder it's going to be to stay up tall. So keep it close if it means you're going to stay upright. If you know you're working on this and you've been pretty good, you're going to take it out as far as you can and really shake that ball. Okay? So working to your ability, everybody is different. 30 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Just to chest height, so no higher. Good. Shake that pain up. Keep going. 30 seconds is a long time, so keep going. Focus on your movement. This is where that deep belly breathing can come in. You have 8 seconds left. 2, 1, and time. Good. We're going to stop there for this circuit because that's actually a lot. We have 2 sides to the wood chops, and then we're going to do our paint shaker. Okay? Grab a sip of water. I'm going to time you 30 seconds for a break, and then we're going to start again. Reminder, if anyone has any comments, we can go in the chat or questions. Okay. All right, that was our time. So reminders, if your object for your wood chop feels not quite heavy enough, I would try going quicker with your movement before you pick up weight. So if you have like a 2 pound and you think you can go heavier, try going quicker first before we add weight. Another thing, if you are having some shoulder stuff going on and going like, if we go up above the ear, this doesn't feel good, you can aim for below the ear. So instead of here, you're going to bring it down a little bit. Okay. So work with that depending on where you're at. Here we go. Wood chop, right and left, 30 seconds, and then paint shakers. 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice and still, hips don't move. Okay, this is great for that core stability, trunk. If you can use your breath with it, you're going to get even deeper into those deep core stabilizers. Almost there. 5 seconds on this side, and then we're transitioning right into the other side. And here we go. Getting taller, feel those feet in the floor. Almost there. 2, 1, and time. Awesome. All right, I'll give you about 10 seconds. Catch your breath, and then we're going to go into our paint shakers. Okay, so getting ready. 3 for 30 seconds. 2, 1, and go. Nice and quick. Staying as tall as you can, keeping the ribs knitted. Deep breathing. 15 seconds in, you're halfway. Do what you can. If you have to end early, that's fine, but do your best. That's all that matters. Breathing. Keep moving, everybody. Keep going. 2, 1, and time. Woo! If you're not feeling your shoulders on that, I would be surprised. I made the mistake of using a 10-pound ball today. All right, little bit of a water break. We are going to do that again, okay? This will be your last round before we move on. So a little note, if things start to get fatigued, you can obviously stop, or the other option is you can put your weight down and keep doing the movement without weight. So that's another way you can make it a little bit easier, but without totally stopping the movement. Okay. All right. Are we ready? That was a little longer break than I promised. Okay, last time today, and then we're moving on, I promise. Here we go. 3, 2, wood chops. 1, go. Get nice and high above that ear if you can. Halfway on this side. Okay, you can take your weight away if it gets hard. You can slow it down. You can breathe more. That'll help you. 3, 2, and switch. 30 seconds left, everybody. Keep moving. Do what you need to do to keep moving to the very end. Almost there. Keep pushing. Let me hear you breathe. Belly breath for 5, 2, and time. Awesome. I'll give you a little transition before we do our paint shakers. Shake out those arms. Okay, here we go. Getting ready. 3, last time. 2, 1, and go. Shake, shake, shake. Get that paint out. Staying nice and tall. Awesome. Keep going. Over halfway, breathing. Feel those feet on the floor. Get solid in those hips. Getting taller with every shake. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. 1 minute break. So you get a whole minute and then we're moving on. Okay. I'm going to pop a window. Make sure you are getting water, especially if you are getting warm or sweating. Really important to stay hydrated. All right. Natalia, I hope you're hanging in there. All right. Okay, you still have 20 seconds of your break, but I'm just going to start explaining what we're doing next. So don't worry, you don't have to do anything quite yet. You can just watch. Okay, so we're going to still do a bit of not overhead movement, but a press. So it's like a push-pull. Okay, so I want you to think of pushing and then pulling, and then we're going to rotate, and then we're going to rotate. Okay, so dowel up at the chest. We're going to push, we're going to pull, and then we're going to rotate, rotate. Push, pull, rotate, rotate. Push, pull, rotate, rotate. Okay, that is going to be for a whole minute. Okay, and then when we're done that, I'll show you the next in the circuit. Okay, we're going to do 3 in a circuit this time. All right, are we ready? So push, pull, rotate, rotate. Okay, the rotation is like what we talked about in the warm-up. None of this. Keep the hips still, feet flat. Rotate, rotate. Okay. All right, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Rotate, rotate. I'll start it a little bit slower so that people can get the pattern. Breathing. That's it. Keep going. You are halfway already. Make sure those shoulders are relaxed. We're not doing any overhead in this one. So there's no reason why your shoulders should be up at your ears. So if you can see, I don't know if you guys can see yourselves in the monitor, but just think of the shoulders being down. Okay, you're almost there. 8 seconds. And time. Awesome. All right. Kayaks, one of my favorites. Same thing. You can actually, if you want to challenge yourself more, you can use a weighted ball. But I'm going to demonstrate with the dowel. So nice and tall, you're going to dip your dowel into the water deeper than I'm doing because I'm on a couch. But you're going to dip it down into the water and then right into the other side, you're going to dip down. You're dipping down, but I need you to stay tall. We're not rounding or hinging. It's just a dip with a rotation today. 1 minute. Here we go. 3, 2, oh, hold on. 3, 2, 1, and 1 minute. Here we go. Nice and quick. Think of rowing or kayaking down a river or in Falls Creek, somewhere beautiful. And you're breathing, really rotating through your belly button, through the torso. Hips are not moving. Okay. Some of us are even doing this soon with the BC Moss program, which will be awesome to get back out on the water again. That's it. You have 20 seconds left. That's it, everybody. Breathing, feeling those core muscles rotate. And if you can't, focus on that belly breath. 8 seconds. Just because you don't feel something doesn't mean they're not working. And time. Awesome. Our last thing in this circuit really quick. No time. We're going to do a jack variation. So it's like a jumping jack, but we're not going to jump. So if you're sitting, you can clap under, when we go under, you can clap under your feet, or you can clap and tap the sides of your legs. And everybody, when we go up, I want to hear a clap. So up, and then we clap down. Up, and then we clap down. It can also be here, and then just clap the sides. Okay, whatever's accessible to you. Here we go. This time we're doing 10. And 1. At your own pace. Breathing. That's it, everybody. This is the hardest circuit probably, so keep moving. You're doing great if you've come this far. One more for Megan. And keep going. I'll give a couple minutes to finish out the 10. A couple seconds, not minutes. And we're all meeting back at center. Beautiful. Okay, take a little rest. We have time to get out another set of those 3. Okay, I'm going to time your rest for 30 seconds just to make sure we're all starting together. And then we have our push, pull, rotate, rotate for 1 minute, our kayaks for 1 minute, set that down, jacks for 10. Okay, these are your last exercises today. So let's try and get them through them at least one more time. All right, are we ready? Dowel's ready? Your 30 seconds is over. Here we go. 1 minute, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Push, pull. Don't worry what way you rotate. I'm kind of switching it both times. You can pick a pattern and go the same way. You can rotate and alternate, whatever you'd like to do. I'm not too concerned about it. I'm more concerned about keeping your hips still and really rotating through those abdominal muscles. You're already halfway. Last 10 seconds here, everybody. Try and pick up your pace a little bit just for these last 10. And time. All right, dowel kayaks. Here we go right away. 3, 2, 1, and breathing. Dipping really far down into the water. It should look different than mine. Okay, don't worry if you're not at my tempo because you're going to get a bigger range than I am. Hopefully you guys aren't sitting on your couches like me. Demonstration purposes only. Okay, keep moving. Really breathing. Feel your feet in the floor. Even if you don't have sensation in your feet, I want you to imagine feeling that floor. Feel your hips in your chair. Get grounded. Keep moving, everybody. You're doing great. You have 10 seconds left here. The hardest part is over. Just keep moving to the end. The finish line is ahead. The jacks are the only thing we have left. And time. Okay, done with the timer. Here we go. Getting ready for your jacks. Set your dowel aside. Getting ready in 3, 2, 1, and we're up. I want to hear that clap. If you can't go overhead, that's okay. Clap in front of your face. Two more for Megan. It's on your own. Keep going. I'll give a couple seconds. And we should all be finishing right about now. Beautiful. Awesome. All right. Get a little sip of water. Let your heart rate come down. If you guys didn't have to crack a window, I'm impressed. I did. And let's get into a little bit of a twist. We did do a lot of twisting today. So we're just going to take a nice twist here. So nice and tall. If you want a little bit more, go ahead and lift that arm and hook it over your other leg, and you can rotate and look over your shoulder. And we're going to be here for 30 counts. Okay, you're on the clock. Make sure you're breathing. If you can't breathe and you're twisting a little too far, so just lighten it up. Breath is number 1. Slowly unwind that. We're going to go to the other side. Same thing. You can hook your hand up, bring it over that leg, rotate, chest tall, and here we go. And slowly unwind here. Awesome. All right, everybody, that is the workout for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I will look forward to seeing you all next week. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, please feel free to write in the chat. I'll stay on for just a minute or two. And otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next week.